Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Nick Scuola. I'm here to talk about the importance of the vCommunity. So for those of you who might not know what that is, it's everything around you today. So a little bit about me. I'm a husband and dad. I work for Zerto as my day job. I'm also one of the New York vMug leaders. So I'm all about community and really trying to help everyone out and get everybody up to the same level. And really try and spread the love and the knowledge. So what is vCommunity? It's really about just getting together, having the camaraderie. We're all in the same boat. We're all IT, engineers. Some of us might be networking, some of us might be virtualization. Really taking the journey together. We're all looking to do the same things, whether it's our day jobs, you all want to learn new things. You want to move along in your career and move up the chain. So the biggest thing to realize is that you don't have to do it yourself. There's plenty of people out there that have gone through this already, and some people might have that shyness or the fear of going up to people they don't know, and sometimes you need to embrace others and go out and find them. And one of the things we do at the vMug, especially in New York, is we get together, and as you can see, this is actually a picture from one of our whiteboard meetings. And what we do at our whiteboard meetings is we get together in a room, and I see a lot of familiar faces here today, and we get in this room and we just talk. We literally talk about what's going on that day, what kind of projects we're working on, and really just share ideas, brainstorm. Somebody might be going through a DR project, or somebody might be going through a vCenter upgrade, that sort of thing. So why do it from scratch when you have somebody that's probably done 95% of exactly what you're trying to do? Reach out, talk to them, go through and just ask the questions that you need to ask. So next question that usually comes up is, how do I get started? What do I do? Obviously if you're here, you have a pretty good idea. For those of you that are watching online, it's very easy. Just get out there, share the knowledge. How do you do that? User groups, whether it's a vMug, whether it's an AWS user group, whether it's an OpenStack user group, there's plenty of avenues that you could do it. We also have online forums, so VMTN is a good example. Reddit, there's plenty of places. Now, you could share code, that's another way. Git is one of the largest environments for sharing code and really helping to share what you've done, and maybe something you might not think much of it, but what if you wrote a little shell script or something like that to automate one little piece of your environment, and somebody else is trying to do the exact same thing. They can grab your code, tweak it a little bit, and now make it work for their environment. So that's another great way you could help out. Twitter, for those of you who know Ariel, the first question out of his mouth is, what's your Twitter handle? There's such a vast community online, and it's global. So you could talk to people that are in Europe, in Asia, West Coast, East Coast, doesn't matter. You'll have the ability to get in touch with these people and ask questions. You could ask product owners at VMware specific questions about some software, and in some cases you might actually ask a question that is going to help them out, and they might not have thought of something when they were building the product, and now they can tweak it and make any changes that they need to do. Another great way is to start a blog. So when it comes to blogging, I know people say it could be a waste of time and nobody's going to read it or whatever, but it's also a great way for you to keep your own notes. So I usually like to make my blog more about, I ran into a problem, I document it, I throw it up on my blog just in case, and then if somebody I see has a question, I could just link to it and just, hey, I went through this, here's a fix, go ahead and take it and spread it out, go ahead and do what you got to do. Another option is presenting. So I mentioned those whiteboard meetings earlier. One of the great things about them is it's a small, intimate group. There's usually a dozen people or so. You can get out there, just get up on stage, just talk, and it's a relaxed environment, so you don't have to feel threatened or anything like that. Everyone's going to be positive, and I think that's the other thing about the community that not a lot of people realize, is that it is a very positive experience. No one's here to compete or kind of go through any of those negative things that you run through. Everyone is usually very forthcoming and welcoming, and that's been my experience. Everybody that I've dealt with in the community has been fantastic, and you might think people are too big or too smart to talk to, and I can't go up to them. It's really not the case, especially with virtualization. Everybody I've come across has been just really helpful and pointed me in the right direction for things that I wanted to learn. And even if there's technology that I'm trying to integrate in my job, I can reach out to people that are different companies and that sort of thing, and ask their opinions and see if we can work together and really make things better for everybody. And then there's also the vExpert program. So the vExpert program, some people have different opinions on it. The way I look at it, it's just a way to acknowledge the people that go out there and they're putting in their own time and effort to really help others. And there's a ton of different ways you can do it. It can be through blogging, it could be through presenting, it could be being a vMug leader. I happen to do a few of them, so I'm lucky enough to be a vExpert. But there's some people that think it's just about getting free license keys and just getting the title that you can throw on your resume. But at the end of the day, it's really not. And I think the majority of the people that are vExperts, they really do it just to help others and to really pay it forward. So that's just a couple of different ways you can contribute. And what's the effect been on me? I've formed some friendships that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. So I'm lucky enough that I see people, I might see them once a year, but it's like I saw them yesterday. And you build bonds because you're sharing similar experiences. You're going through the same kind of trials and tribulations or whatnot. And for me, like I come from the military, so I've always had that kind of band of brothers bond, and we've always had a very tight-knit relationship where we're like family, and I feel like the community is like that as well. I also have had the opportunity to become a mentor. Some people it might not be their thing, but for me, being able to pass on the knowledge I have to others and really, help them be successful in their careers has been really important to me. And I would say the vast majority kind of see it the same way, where you're always going to try and share that knowledge. I was actually lucky enough to have one of the guys I had nominated for vExpert make it this year, so that was like, I think I was more proud about that than actually getting it myself. Obviously, you're gonna get smarter. We're all here because we want to learn more about what we do. We want to get better at our jobs, and what better way to do that than to ask people that are smarter than you. I always like to walk into a room and be the idiot, because it means I'm going to walk out of there knowing something I didn't know when I first walked in. So that's been a definite benefit for me. You might not be able to tell today, but I've also improved my public speaking. Just getting the reps in and being able to get up in front of people and just talk, and really making the connection where you're just having a conversation. It just happens to be with a few dozen people as opposed to just one-on-one. But getting the reps in and doing it in a way where you don't have to feel ashamed. That the people actually understand what you're talking about, and some of them are going to judge you, but let's be honest. But for all intents and purposes, it's going to be a positive experience at the end of the day, and you're going to only improve yourself by doing it. And I'm lucky enough to been very successful in my career, and I think a lot of it has to do with my involvement with the community. Just making connections. One of the things I didn't even talk about was the networking. You're going to run into people that you might not think much of it, but who's to say 5 years down the road, there might not be a connection. I see a couple people in the room right now where they haven't seen each other in years, and now all of a sudden they're running into each other at New York vMugs, and just making bonds that last for a very long time, and you can't put a price on that. And you are going to get recognized, and I think people are going to know who you are, and they're going to come to you. And I think it's not even so much about the recognition for that personal, but it's more about people knowing who to go to when they have a question, and recognizing, hey, you know what, I got a question about Power CLI. Oh look, I saw hashtag Kyle Ruddy facts. I'm going to go ask Kyle Ruddy a question. Or if I have any questions about Twitter, I'm going to Ariel or whatever it is. You're going to know who to talk to, and people are going to know that you're willing to help them out and provide that that feedback in a positive manner. So I think there's nothing better than that. And to me, the community has been really important, and I'm hoping that we could continue building it, as we have over the years. And just judging by the turnout today, I think it's going to be a pretty successful venture. That's all I got. Questions? answers? Hopefully. Awesome. All right. Well, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you.